Hi. It's impossible to perceive reality beyond the dimension you choose to exist in. I know this to be true because everything in this solar system that appears physically is actually light and sound waves vibrating at 430 trillion times per second. In order to appear, it is vibration of light and sound. But because we exist in the third dimension, we cannot see the speed of light. We cannot see light traveling, even though we're made up of it, which would indicate that just because you can't see something does not mean it doesn't exist. But when you perceive through your ego, what you see and what you touch is the only reality, and also you're in the center of it. So people who know how to interdimensional travel, their perspective has transcended that self-limiting belief system. They can do things like astral travel, remote view. I believe that the subconscious mind is actually the fourth dimension, but it's just inverted and on a micro scale, physiologically presenting itself at the 33rd vertebrae of the human body. And so when we dream, we have more access to this realm, to this dimension, to this gateway. The veil is thin enough for that information to drip feed to us when we are not perceiving consciously through our ego. And the way that this allegorically presents itself in day-to-day life is in how we outgrow our environment. Some of us were born in detrimental environments, but it is the only environment we know, so we cannot perceive reality beyond the scope of it. All that you have are your dreams and your imagination when you're in that situation. Those are the only tools you have to transcend your reality, to create a new one, a better one, a broader one more realistic. Which is why I believe that imagination, what you imagine and what you dream, is actually drip-fed information from the quantum field, and it is sourcing from alternate timelines and energy from other entities and higher forces, interdimensional beings, some of which have been written about in the Bible. These entities could be people that you still have energetic connections with, people you have relationships with that maybe you don't talk to anymore. I believe that the subconscious mind is the fourth dimension, is the portal between the third dimension that we exist in, that we perceive through our ego in, and the fifth dimension and the quantum field and all the other dimensions that we are actually actively interacting with, engaging with. There was this theory called the Matrix Theory by Gregg Braden that came out a very long time ago. He did studies on the way that emotions and thoughts affect our magnetic energy force field, and then he measured the magnetic energy force field of his test subjects through x-rays. And what he discovered is that your thoughts and your feelings, when they emote negatively, your heartstrings vibrate a certain way that decreases your white blood cell count and shrinks the radius of your magnetic energy force field. But when you experience positive feelings, your heartstrings vibrate in such a way that increases your white blood cell count, which directly expands the radius of your magnetic energy force field. Magnetic energy force field. And we're supposed to believe that nothing is real beyond what we can see, and we're the center of it. But it's not real, it's delusional. Okay, so if you choose to perceive through your ego, which is what's right here in my face, is reality, and also I'm in the center of it, then you cannot perceive and interact with the actuality, which is all of the dimensions that you exist in and interact with in order to render your reality. Nor do a lot of people even want to consider that, because then you would be required to play 5D chess. You would be required to hold yourself accountable for rendering the reality that you don't like. Those two things alone would make somebody be totally fine with the indoctrination of public school systems and force-fed religion. Good night.